You see, of all of us, you seem to smoke the most variety. I don't know if it's just because the Atlanta area is like booming with cigars, new stuff, but what are you smoking that's interesting these days?
Well, the Monte Pascual, and the guy came around to this. It's a couple shops carry it. All Brazilian, Brazilian Puro. It's like Mata Fina, Mata Norte, some sort of a blend, and it's the interesting thing about that is you kind of figure it would be fairly one dimensional, but it evolves. It's not incredibly complex, profile for a cigar, but it's really interesting in the way it goes from it kind of goes from like a really sweet, creamy beginning. It transitions over into more of a, as I recall, more of a cedary and kind of a grassy flavor. And it's a very interesting thing. So I like that. I think that's good, and I want to support the guy because he's new to it all. And he's a young guy, and he's trying to get going with it. And it's a good smoke. It really is. It's one of my current favorites that I'm smoking a lot of. Let's see, other stuff. What am I smoking a lot of right now? I don't know. Well, you're watching me. What am I smoking a lot of?
I remember the review of the Monte Pascual, but I don't remember the price point. Is it sort of middle of the road? Is it double digits? Where does
Surprising.
it fall?
It's surprisingly cheap. I think the MSRP on it runs from is like 7-ish on up to maybe 8 or 9, and they got a lot of smaller ring gauges in there. They got a ton of I don't have the complete list, but they got Coronas, and they've only got two sizes that I think with ring gauges bigger than like 54 or 52, and I think they got a Torpedo or Bellicoso, I forget which they call it, and they've got a Churchill, and I think both of those are mid 50s, and I think everything else, maybe a Robusto, everything else tends to be on a smaller ring gauge, which I also like a great deal, and they're really inexpensive.
Did you say he was local to Atlanta?
No, he's where's he out of? I forget where he said he was from, but he actually spent some time in Brazil. He was in town, just doing the grip and grin thing, with all the local carriers of it, and it's doing well. It's doing well. It's kind of reminds me of the Christoph when it first came out. It's one of those things. Once it gets to the shop, people are buying it. So, and it's kind of helps that it's got an interesting background to it being all Brazilian tobacco, because I mean, who smoked a Brazilian puro? I mean, nobody.
Well, was the Donna Flor completely Brazilian, or did that have other tobaccos in it?
See, I don't remember with that. That might have been the last one. That might have been. I'm not 100% on that. And the whole thing confuses me because, of course, they had the issues, and there were two different entities saying that they were not a floor. And yeah, I never really explored it because I was just confused. I mean, I just didn't know where to go with that. And he had some involvement with that particular line, but I think he's focusing purely on the Monte Pascual. So uh, I think it's probably I don't want to say it's the best Brazilian, tobacco out there, but I mean, it's one of the better ones, if nothing else, because I'll probably think of some Brazilian cigar that, has a wrapper or whatever that I just really love or something like that. But it's very good. It's worth trying, and it's inexpensive.
How are how are the smaller brands doing? Because isn't Fuentes Cruzet relatively local? And I think you said a little while back that they folded. They're no longer in business.
Yeah, man, that's unfortunate. They were, really nice people. Went to a ton of their events, rolled cigars with them, and all that sort of thing. And I don't know what happened. They can feel free to comment on this if and when they see it. But I don't think that they made a go of it. I think that the economy or something stepped in. I don't have any background on it. Um, I haven't really reached out to them, I guess. But I mean, I'd heard that they weren't returning calls and such, and that's a good sign of them being a business probably. So yeah.
How is Sean Williams doing with Premier Mundo? Because he took distribution back off of Los Blancos, right? He's handling that in house now.
Yeah, he seems to be killing it right now. He's kind of the other extreme. His stuff is always expanding, always in new places, and I love the hell out of his cigars, actually, especially the Rosado Oscuro and what's Willie Herrera, yes, from El Titan de Bronze makes that Miami that he came out with, which I think is good also, and that's doing really well. I think a lot of places, but I mean I don't know, it's gonna be hard for him to top the Rosado Oscuro. That's a damn fine cigar. That's also I recommend that one a great deal. I recommend these two actually if you have a chance. This is pretty good smoke since we're smoking this.
I don't get a chance to smoke any of Sean's stuff unless we're at a trade show. For whatever reason, I guess he's not in my area, and I just never see them. But I do. His that Rosado Oscuro is very good, and it's great with coffee.
That's great with just about anything, I gotta say. It's one of those things I smoked a lot of them to start off with, and I kind of forgot about them. I keep coming back to them because they're just good. I mean, they're just. The size doesn't even matter too much, but the Figurado is probably the best. But I kind of go back and forth between that and the other sizes too. It's a great smoke. We are giving him such a shout out right now.
He's a good guy. I like talking about Sean. Another name you mentioned was Willie Herrera. He's doing Jackie from Bonita Smoke Shop's House Blend. Have you had a chance to try it?
No, I haven't. And I heard about that. I see them tweeting back and forth about him visiting and such. I haven't had it. I should try it because I generally like the stuff that he comes out with. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same position. I've been meaning to try it. I just haven't gotten around to placing that order. But I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, and I think because it's a house blend, it's reasonably priced, and Willie does some good stuff with El Titan de Bronze. So definitely something I want to try. Just haven't gotten around to doing it yet.
Yeah, I'll check it out at some point. I got to remember to do that. Alrighty. Should we move on to another one or another question? Have we killed?
I was just kind of stringing it along because we did kind of touch on all the topics that I put aside.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just sort of like... I just sort of threaded them together as we were going, and we've exhausted all of our discussion topics, so now it's just kind of the banter session.
We could take turns beatboxing for the next 30 minutes or so. Man, we fine.
So how's your cigar doing?